We are pleased to have him here with us to join us. Mr. Clark, could I ask you to raise your right hand so we bless you under oath? You swear or affirm to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
In the coming months, Collateral will present a series sorting through the best information on the 9/11 attacks. We will do this in addition to our regular weekly broadcasts. This week we look at the human connections in the U.S. made by two alleged 9/11 hijackers who stayed on the West Coast with a known FBI informant. Those connections place a strain on the official story, which contends that the FBI had no knowledge of the 9/11 plot as it developed. Welcome to Collateral.
I also welcome the hearings because it is finally a forum where I can apologize to the loved ones of the victims of 9/11, to them who are here in the room, to those who are watching on television. Your government failed you. Those entrusted with protecting you failed you, and I failed you.
Alleged hijackers Khalid Al-Mihdhar and Nawaf Al-Hazmi entered the United States on January 15, 2000, and immediately went to live with Saudi national Omar Al-Bayoumi in San Diego. By May of that year, Al-Bayoumi had helped the two find an apartment with landlord Abdussader Sheikh. Sheikh was an FBI asset reporting to Stephen Butler during the time the two hijackers were staying with Sheikh. That summer, in fact, Sheikh reported to Butler that two men named Khalid and Nawaf were staying with Sheikh, though according to Butler, Sheikh would not disclose their last names. Now at this time, the CIA was tracking Al-Mihdhar from the moment he arrives at the Malaysian summit in early 2000. It knows he has a multiple entry visa into the US, which he subsequently uses to leave and re-enter the country. Yet it keeps this information from the FBI, supposedly. The fact that Al-Hazmi and Al-Mihdhar live with an FBI asset for months makes the FBI's alleged ignorance harder to accept. Making it even more difficult to accept is the fact that a few months later, Al-Hazmi and Al-Mihdhar are spotted in Shreveport, Louisiana by a private citizen, Dr. David Graham. Graham is the same man who was mysteriously poisoned in 2004 and dies 2 years later from his injuries.
About 10 months before 9/11/01, the tragedies on that day, I was in a strange circumstance among some Muslim Arab type fellows. And
Graham meets Al-Hazmi and Al-Mihdhar while they're staying with the obscure Mohammed Jamal Khan in Shreveport, Louisiana. Graham then reports the meeting to the local FBI well before 9/11, complete with the first and last names correctly spelled of Al-Mihdhar and Al-Hazmi. This is after, of course, Abdussader Sheikh reported to Butler that Khalid and Nawaf were staying with him.
Because I guarantee you, the one I was looking at in this USA Today 3 days after Spoon took the report, no, October 5th, 2001, this publication came out and I identified Nawaf Al-Hazmi easily.
Remember that Shreveport FBI agent Stephen Hayes intimated to 9/11 investigator Sander Hicks that Mohammed Jamal Khan may well have been an FBI asset himself. Now, when Congress was doing its joint inquiry into 9/11, it very badly wanted to speak with Abdussader Sheikh, but the FBI forbade them from doing so. Still, the congressional investigators wanted badly to use Sheikh as a source. On November 18, 2002, a senior FBI official sent a letter to Senator Bob Graham and Representative Porter Goss, the chairman of the Joint Inquiry. Here's what it said, quote, "The administration would not sanction a staff interview with the source, nor did the administration agree to allow the FBI to serve a subpoena or a notice of deposition on the source," end quote. Senator Graham would later write, quote, "We were seeing in writing what we had suspected for some time. The White House was directing the cover-up," end quote. If the FBI truly knew nothing about the plot, how come Abdussader Sheikh was forbidden from testifying to the Congressional Joint Inquiry? Again, we're left to accept the word of the FBI that he wouldn't have had anything interesting to say. But now we may never know for sure. Hope to see you next week.